Hello, my lovely students. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing well. This video is presented to you by Miss Riham Talat from Al Ahram Modern School. In this video, we will start our grammar lesson, which is past perfect tense. What is past perfect tense? We will learn now what is past perfect tense and when do we use it. But first, we will watch a video at the very beginning of our session in order for us to know what is past perfect. Then we will continue getting the lesson.
Past perfect. Finished actions before something in the past. Yesterday, when I arrived home, she had already cooked dinner. She hadn't set the table. After you had done your homework, I set the table. When my father arrived home, we had already eaten. We hadn't waited for him. When I switched on the TV, the news had just finished. The film hadn't started yet. Before the film ended, they had fallen asleep. They hadn't seen the end. When I went to bed, I hadn't done my homework. I had forgotten. When I arrived home, had she cooked dinner? Yes, she had. Had she set the table? No, she hadn't. When my father arrived home, had we already eaten dinner? Yes, we had. When I switched on the TV, had the news just finished? Yes, it had. Before the film ended, had they fallen asleep? Yes, they had. When I went to bed, had I done my homework? Nope, I hadn't. After, before, when, already, just, yet. Cooked, set, done, eaten. Finished, begun, fallen, forgotten. Past perfect.
So, past perfect tense. What is this tense and when do we use it in English language? Number 1. They had already reserved the table when they went to the restaurant. It means they made a reservation first, then they went to the restaurant. They had already sat down for dinner by 8 p.m. Let's see another example. Bill had injured his legs in a car accident, so he had a wheelchair for 6 months. This action was finished in the past and the result was visible in the past as well. The action had broken happened in the past, and the result had a wheelchair was visible in the past as well, as you see here in the picture. Let's see another example. The plane had left by the time I got to the airport. It shows that the plane already had left before it got to the airport. Note, when we use time expression like before and by the time is normally followed by the first past action. Another example. Cami had never been to the opera before last night. It means that this is for her first time from a very long time ago. After and as soon as are normally followed by the second past action. So when it's my first time to do something for a very long time in the past, I use past perfect tense. What about the form of past perfect tense? Yes, as you see here, we use had plus past participle or the third form of the verb. So the past takes the place before another past action. So, for example, I noticed that he had left his books behind. So the past action that he is already noticed, then the past perfect tense that he had already left his books behind. So when exactly do we use past perfect tense? For an action which happens before another past action, before a state time in the past. State time here when we know exactly when it happened. It's finished in the past and also the tense. For an action which finished in the past and whose result was visible in the past. Look here at the diagram, you'll see present, past, and future. Here, from the past to the present, this is exactly when it happened. It's before past simple. Okay, so here is the past perfect. The film had started before we arrived. So if we arrived at 8:45, it means that the movie starts at 8:30. Yes, 8:30. So the film had started here in the past perfect before we arrived at 8:45, which is past simple. In this example, events A is the events that happened first, and event B is the second or more recent event. Here, let's see event A. John had gone out when I arrived in the office. So what happened first? When I arrived at the office, he has already had gone. Event B, before the computer crashed, I had saved my documents. In this part, we have event B and event A. When they arrived, we had already started cooking. He was very tired because he hadn't slept well. In the negative form, we use had plus not or hadn't plus the third form of the verb. For example, I had not eaten in the restaurant before today, or I hadn't eaten in the restaurant before today. My friends hadn't ever gone to France. What about the interrogative? It's the yes or no question. We use had plus subject plus past participle. Yes, had you cleaned up the mess by the time they come home? Had Adam ever spoken to the manager before he was fired? We have the WH question as well. WH question plus had plus job subject plus past participle. What had they said that made him so angry? Why had he agreed to work for that salary? And now, here are some sentences that will let us know how we get the past perfect tense. Number 1. The baby had cried before her father came. Number 2. Had the water boiled when we went to the kitchen? Number 3. By the time I returned home, we had already left. Number 4. When I came home, they had already eaten the meal. Number 5. He began to run after he had seen the cat. Number 6. I had never seen such a nice beach before I went to Hawaii. Number 7. I had lived in London before I moved to Paris. Number 8. She had washed her hands before she cooked dinner. Number 9. Did the students go home after they had visited the library? Number 10. I returned home because I had forgotten my notebook at home. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope we will see you again in another videos. Take care of yourself. Bye.